Good day!
I'm Crisette Alcazar.
And I'm Canchardrich Alcañete.
And I'm Jim Tonsi C. Jimenez.
Our proposed title is Competencies of Pre-Service Teachers in the Use of Technology in Classroom Setting.
Our background of the study, the researchers attempts to study the competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom setting. For many years, educators have used technological resources such as networking devices, media, and machines to enhance learning. Technology makes it quick, simple, and pleasurable for the student to transfer knowledge, which greatly enhances conceptual understanding. According to Houston 2011, this phrase is used in relation to both job performance and teacher education. The knowledge, abilities, and values a teacher's trainee must display in order to successfully complete a teacher education program are referred to as competencies and are the requirements of a competency-based teacher education. Our statement of the problem, this study attempts to evaluate the competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom setting. Specifically, it sought to answer the following questions. Number 1, what is the extent of competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom setting in terms of 1.1, content and pedagogy, 1.2, collaboration, 1.3, creativity, and 1.4, motivation. Number 2, to what extent does the following factors affect the competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom setting? 2.1, content knowledge, 2.2, pedagogical knowledge, 2.3, technological knowledge. Number 3, is there a significant difference between the extent of competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom setting and to the factors affecting it? Number 4, based on the findings, what intervention program may be proposed?
To answer the questionnaire, the respondents will be guided by the use of Likert scale to evaluate the extent of competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom setting. The scale is 5 very great extent, 4 great extent, 3 moderate extent, 2 less extent, and 1 is no extent. Research question 1. What is the extent of competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom setting in terms of 1.1, content and pedagogy? The statistical tool that we will be using is weighted mean. Under content and pedagogy are 1. I can navigate MS Office in organizing my learning materials. I know how to navigate MS Word, MS PowerPoint, and MS Excel to conduct teaching and learning process. Next, I can design lesson plan, DLL, lesson exemplar, and other learning materials through the use of computer and its application to organize my teaching materials that are significant to my future field. I will use technology to apply a range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking, as well as other higher order thinking skills. I will promote the positive impact including benefits, functions, and significance of technology to my future students. Research question 1 under collaboration. The statistical tool that we will be using is weighted mean. The questionnaire under collaboration are: I can create online interactive quiz such as Google Form, Kahoot, quizzes, and or Padlet as an evaluation tool. Second, I always integrate the use of technologies to deliver my lesson effectively. I can select students' name through the use of computer-generated randomizer for class recitation. I allow my students to use gadgets during activities if necessary for effective learning outcomes and efficacy for technological advantage. I always rely on online articles rather than to spend time in browsing books in school library. Research question 1 under creativity. The statistical tool that we will be using is weighted mean. The questionnaire under creativity are: first, I apply clip art and graphics interchange format or GIF in my PowerPoint presentation to catch students' attention. I know how to include transitions and animations to PowerPoint slides to give emphasis and arouse students' attention. I know how and where to download PowerPoint templates and designs that will be used for the presentation of the lesson. Apply technology for every learning context and include visual materials for high-level cognitive activity. I always use graphical representations, graphs, diagrams, and charts to show relationships, connections, differences, and similarities among subject matters and contexts. Research question 1 under motivation. The statistical tool that we will be using is also weighted mean. The questionnaire under motivation are: first, I always include most popular interactive games before the start of the lesson proper. I always include videos or tutorials from the internet for students' better understanding of the complex topics. I profile my students' capacity and the availability of gadgets needed to enrich class activities. I allow my students to post their creative artwork in their respective social media accounts. I include researches, articles, video documentaries, and interviews to deliver real-life understanding of the lesson. Research question number 2. To what extent does the following factors affect the competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom setting? 2.1 Content knowledge. The statistical tool that we will be using is weighted mean. The questionnaire under content knowledge are: first, I apply technology as an effective tool for the curriculum integration and assure necessary cognitive structures evident during class discussion. I can use technology to aid students' learning of a specific context and display sequence of activities to achieve learning goals. Select the best technology tool to promote specific contexts in the class and use to enhance numeracy and literacy skills of students. I use technology to bring real-life experiences, examples, and analogies about the context, including their needs and interests for personal development of the students. I can use technology to make the specific subject matter comprehensible by students from different backgrounds effective in teaching and learning process. Question number 2 under pedagogical knowledge. The statistical tool that we will be using is also weighted mean. The questionnaire under pedagogical knowledge are: I have self-governing skill to facilitate class environment. I allow my students to have self-exploration in using various software and applications. I can provide guidance to students by leading them for valid and reliable sources in the internet. I can behave ethically regarding the appropriate use of technology in educational environments. I can become leader in spreading the use of technological innovations and inspire my classmates and future students. Research question number 2 under technological knowledge. The statistical tool that we will be using is also weighted mean. The questionnaire under technological knowledge are: I know how to navigate social media platforms, including how to create group chats for the updates and class announcements. I can navigate MS Excel to record class performance and assure authentic results of grades. I'm confident to manage technical problems in the classroom. I can demonstrate e-safety for the knowledge, discipline, and development of teaching and learning process. I believe that technology is an effective tool to assess the strengths and weaknesses of students towards learning.
Research questions number 3. Is there a significant difference between the extent of competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom setting and to the factors affecting it? The statistical tool that we will be using is t-test. And the last question is, based on the findings, what intervention program may be proposed?
Theoretical framework. Our study is anchored to Teaching Competence Theory by Lemar, 2019, where it can be provides comprehensive pathway for students to see progress after the end of each module. In the relevance, competencies of pre-service teachers manifested to attain with the content and pedagogy, collaboration, creativity, and motivation toward the effective use of technology in teaching and learning. It's called Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge, or TPAC, framework of Mishra and Koehler 2016, which focuses on technological knowledge (TK), pedagogical knowledge (PK), and content knowledge (CK. Offers a productive approach to many of the dilemmas that teachers face in implementing education technology or EdTech in their classroom. This order is important because the technology being implemented must communicate the content and to support the pedagogy in order to enhance students' learning experience using technology. Paradigm of the study. The purpose of this study is to evaluate the competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom setting. This contains the input, process, and the output. In input, it includes competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom settings. 1.1 Content and Pedagogy, 1.2 Collaboration, 1.3 Creativity, and 1.4 Motivation. And the factors affecting the competencies of pre-service teachers in the use of technology in classroom setting is 2.1 Content Knowledge, 2.2 Pedagogical Knowledge, and 2.3 Technological Knowledge. While in process, it is include the survey questionnaire, and in the output, it include the proposed intervention.
In the research design, we will be using descriptive research, while according to McCombes Shona 2019, that descriptive research aims to accurately and systematically describe a population, situation, or phenomenon. It can answer what, where, when, and how questions, but not why questions. Descriptive research design can use a wide variety of research methods to investigate one or more variables.
In sample, the table shows the distribution of respondents by major. It can be gleaned from the table that Limerick Colleges offers education program with different majors. There are 137 enrolled in School of Teacher Education program. With the use of Sloven's formula, the researcher will conduct this study to the 102 respondents. This will serve as the respondents of this study. The researchers come up with this by using the Sloven's formula, where n is equal to number of population divided by 1 plus number of population multiplied by margin of error squared with a confidence level of 95%. The result of this given data is n is equal to 102 respondents. To get the population per class, we use the total number of population divided by the computed sample per class. We come up with the answer of 0.74% sample per class.